Did you miss me? I guess not. Anyway, so it's time for some game pickups. Well, it's only a few games, but I also have some other gaming-related stuff. Well, actually, the first thing isn't a game. Well, it's a different type of game. It's a board game called Dragon Strike. Kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm sure a lot of you probably heard about this from Board James. And a funny thing, a lot of the board games that he reviewed, my siblings and I actually owned back in the day, back in the 90s. Like I had, what the heck was it? Splat and Mousetrap. My sister had 1310 Drive, which they re-released a few years ago, and she got it for me for Christmas. My brother had Omega Virus, Nightmare, and Dragon Strike, and then I think his friend had Battle Masters, and I remember our neighbor had Mr. Bucket. But yeah, as for Dragon Strike, this was kind of been on my mind a lot lately, so I was like, what the hell, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm sure I can find it. It is complete. I'm not gonna take the box apart because it's, well, too many pieces and shit, But anyway, I remember my brother's original copy of this. He had actually painted all the little figures and stuff because he had like these little. He had the model paints and stuff, and he used to paint these little metal figurines and stuff that he would collect, but that's a whole other story. And much like James, we didn't really play this that much. I think, at least not back then, but I think we watched the VHS tape more than we played the actual game. And we used to watch it kind of like a movie. But the next thing, I got finally, the Lego Sonic the Hedgehog set. Here's the Green Hill Zone little Sonic figure here. Whoops. It's about to pop off. Whatever. I'll fix him later. Also comes with these little guys. I'm drawing I know them from the games, but I'm drawing a blank on the names. That rhymed. That rhymed. And then it also comes with Robotnik and his little car, or whatever you call it, the egg cart thing. Yeah, that's my only real complaint about this set is his head looks a little funny. But, yeah, this was a really neat set, and, I really wish Nintendo would do something like this. They have the gimmicky Mario sets, which is fine. But it's make some traditional sets too, and not just of Mario, but there are other IPs as well, like Star Fox, Metroid, Legend of Zelda, etc., Splatoon, or hell, even if they just made a Smash Brothers set, it could be the whole, you could just be an arena or something, and then have 20 or 30 minifigures of different characters. That would be awesome. But now for the games. First one is for the X-Bone. It's Evil Dead, the game. It's funny, I had actually forgotten about this until somebody had mentioned it online. But it's funny, this has only been out for less than a year, and it's literally one of the best survival horror games I've ever played. Although it might be a little bit repetitive, which I'll touch more on that in a bit, well, as I explain the gameplay. What it is you play as either one of the survivors, or the Demon Lord, who's kind of like a Dungeons Master type of thing, because that's the thing with this game. It's like a cross between Left 4 Dead, the Friday the 13th game, with a pinch of Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're playing as the survivors, the goal is to kill the demon, or dungeon lord, whatever the hell you want to call it. Or if you're playing as the demon lord, your goal is to survive, or stop the survivors. So, when you're playing as the survivors, you have, well, either or, you have to navigate this huge map. And basically, when you're the survivors, you have, to fight against the Deadites, that the Demon Lord summons, because that's the thing, you know, like I said, the Demon Lord's kind of like a dungeon master. They put out the deadites and set traps and things like that. You know, and you have a variety of weapons as the survivor. I know I'm going back and forth. As the survivor, you have like weapons and items and stuff to help you survive, and you can each survivor can have a melee weapon and a shooting weapon. You know, the melee weapon varies from like machetes, swords, axes, knives, things like that. Blunt instruments like sledgehammer, excuse me, barbed wire baseball bats, shovels. Shooting weapons are, you know, pistols, shotguns, rifles, crossbow. There's a saw gun, which is kind of cool. Of course, there's the chainsaw, but only Ash can use that. And that's the thing, there's a ton of characters, including the 4 different versions of Ash. Like, there's the 3 from the movie, the one from the 3 different movies, and also the one from the TV series. And, like I said, the maps are huge, and they actually recently added some more, which one of them being the medieval level from Army of Darkness, which I was hoping they were going to do that. And you navigate across the map, when you're playing as the survivor, that is. You navigate across the map to find 3 pieces of another map, you know, all the while fighting off the deadites and stuff, and you... What was I going with this? Oh yeah, when you find all 3 pieces of the map, it shows you 2 locations where to find the pages of the Necronomicon and the Kandarian dagger. I think I'm saying that right. And in order to obtain those items, you have to go through like kind of a gauntlet to like fight a bunch of deadites and whatnot. Well, like, you know, it's like you're in kind of like this secluded area type of thing, you know, or this highlighted area. We'll put it that way. And you know, the longer you're in there, I mean, you stay in there for it to. The time it takes depends on like how many people are in there. Something like it kind of varies and stuff. But you know, once you're done that, you collect the item. You also get like these little pink juice things that give you like that like power you up for that level and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot to this game. I'm not gonna go way into detail, but once you have the Necronomicon pages and the dagger, you go to fight the demon, which is like these kind of like these 4 cloaked guys floating around. You have to wear them down by using the dagger, which is funny. It's like when you're collecting the dagger, there's only 1, but then all of a sudden there's like 4 of them, one for each survivor, but whatever. So you use that, you shoot like this beam of energy out of the dagger. It kind of looks like Ghostbusters, and you have to wear down the demon's health or whatever, and then like basically it like disappears, and like swarms of deadites come out. You have to hold off. Well, I think it's like it's another gauntlet of like deadites and stuff that you have to hold off until the you know, I think it's 2 minutes until like, you know, then everything gets sucked back into the book and stuff. And like I said, if you're playing as the Demon Lord, you're basically just setting up the traps and stuff. You can possess like the different objects and stuff, and like things like that. It's a really fun game. It's a little tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's an absolute blast. You know, if you like survival horror games and the Evil Dead movies, that's a must-play game. But now for some Switch games. Actually, one that's digital is, I got the Contra collection because it was on sale for $5, so I was like, why not? But then I got Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I forgot the title there for a second. It's your basic Kirby game. You know, you have all your new with, you know, you got your power-ups like returning favorites and some new ones and stuff. You also have an open world, not open world, but like a hub area type of thing. You know, it's more of a sandbox type of platformer. And then you have to rescue like Waddle Dees throughout stages, like, which the more because you have like also have a little village that you go back to, and the more Waddle Dees that you save, you unlock newer areas and or newer places in the village, like things like that. And of course, the gimmick for this game is the whole mouthful mode, I believe it's called, which I'm sure you saw from the commercials and stuff, where you absorb things like cars, and giant pipes and stuff, which you use them to navigate through stages and unlock like secret areas where you'll find other Waddle Dees and stuff, and you get all kinds of like collectible figure eights and stuff. It's a pretty good game. Next is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. It's a direct spin-off of the last Fire Emblem game, well, mainline Fire Emblem game, Three Houses, which, not exactly the Fire Emblem Warriors game that I was hoping for. Like, I was kind of hoping something more like the first Fire Emblem Warriors game, but it's still good. Like, I'm sure maybe down the road we will see another one like that. And it's interesting because it's like, much like Three Houses, you actually pick one of the three characters to side with. So it's like okay, I'm gonna pick the Blue Lions, and then I'll do their story, and once I complete that, then I'll do the Black Eagle and do their story and stuff. And you can actually, some of the battles, like, you can recruit one of the other characters and stuff. Like, it's really weird. Like, and there's really no free play mode. It's more just like, once you get to a certain part of the game, you unlock what's called the Record Keeper, and you can replay levels, and then you can use a lot of the other characters from like the other houses and stuff. It's a little complicated, kind of, but it's a pretty good game. There's a ton of characters, including characters that weren't playable in Three Houses. Well, technically that wasn't really playable anyway because it was a strategy game, but whatever. But yeah, not, like I said, not, I wouldn't say it's, how can I say this? It's good, but for me personally, not as great as the other Fire Emblem Warriors game. Like I said, hopefully down the road we'll see another one like that. But yeah, so far I have been enjoying this. And last but not least, Pocky and Rocky reshined another remaster of another one of Natsume's underrated classics. I say that because Natsume is like the king of hidden gems, especially during the 16-bit era. Now, the Pocky and Rocky games, to my knowledge, there was 2 for the Super Nintendo and 1 for the Game Boy Advance. But I'm pretty sure there was also other ones that were never released outside of Japan. But I was more familiar with the first 2 on the Super Nintendo, which is actually what this is. It was a remaster of the first one for the Super Nintendo, which they were also in arcades and stuff, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, yeah, I think SNES Drunk said it best. The Pocky and Rocky games are literally, or basically like a cross between Smash TV and Legend of the Mystical Ninja. It's an overhead shooter where you play as Priestess Pocky and her Tanuki pal Rocky, and you fight all kinds of demons and monsters and stuff. They're really fun games, especially with 2 players. And because they were always for 2 players, although I don't know about the Game Boy Advance one, I never played that, but maybe it was like a system link or something, I don't know. Anyway, another good one was the Super Nintendo one. I'm kind of branching off a minute here for a moment, but yeah, this, I'm really happy with the remaster. I like, very satisfied with it. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah, the second one for the Super Nintendo has more characters, including a ninja girl, a scarecrow, a Tengu bird, a mole, even a robot. So I was thinking, because the way Natsume has done these remasters, like they did Wild Guns, that was originally a 2-player game. The remastered version is for 4 players. Then they remastered Ninja Warrior. The original was for 1 player. The remake or remaster was for 2 players. So imagine if they remastered Pocky and Rocky 2 and made it for 4 players, because it has all the different characters and stuff. That would be awesome, but maybe I'm just thinking out loud. But those are all my game pickups, so if you enjoy my content, feel free to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.